as you know, the Santa rally never came for the markets, but you know who did make Santa's nice list this year? Bitcoin, if you can believe it. In the last week, the cryptocurrency surged about $1,000, a rally that has sent the coin back over $4,000. Of course, this is after it has been through a terrible year. Bitcoin is down a whopping 80% from its highs a year ago. For more, let's bring in a man who's been at the center of the crypto craze, Asiff Hirji. He's the president of Coinbase, the world's largest crypto exchange. Asiff, great to see you.
Melissa and Dan, good to see you too.
You know, I'm not sure when the last time we spoke was, if it was Bitcoin 15K or Bitcoin 14K. I think it was a lot higher, though. What makes you think that this is the start of a move higher that we'll see continue in 2019, when 2018 was so terrible after all the prognostications that it would be a terrific year?
Yeah, look, if you remember about this time last year when Bitcoin was up in, near 20,000, we had put out something at that time saying, hey, sometimes things can get out ahead of fundamentals, effectively reminding people to really take a hard look and see if this is really right for them or not, and asking them to be careful. And we got a lot of negative press for doing that, but you'll recall we did that. And I think it's the old adage of things are never as good as they seem, neither are they ever as bad as they seem. And to quote Buffett, be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. So I think that it's not surprising to me that we've had a bit of a bounce back. I think the amount of innovation that's happened in cryptocurrency over the last year has exceeded everything in all the years before it. And if you just look at the number of engineers who are going to cryptocurrencies and the number of actual projects that are being launched, we've never had as much innovation as we have today.
How has the decline in Bitcoin changed your business, if at all, Asiff? And I'm asking because the platform has listed many, many more coins which people can trade, which people can invest in. And when I first heard that announcement, and this happened, at a time when Bitcoin is, I think, somewhere in the 3,000s or 4,000s or whatnot, I thought immediately, I wonder if volume is drying up and they're just trying to juice the volume numbers by offering more products to trade.
Yeah, look, I can see why people might think that. I think the reality is that 3 or 4 years ago, Bitcoin was the only thing that mattered in cryptocurrency. Then Ethereum came along, and now we're at a point where there's probably 3,000 to 4,000 cryptocurrencies that are out there. There are probably 200 or so that matter. And you should assume that we will, over the course of time, add all the cryptocurrencies that matter in as many geographies as we're allowed to add them. This is the start, I think, of the next great wave of innovation in technology, and you should expect to see more and more cryptocurrencies over time.
So Asiff, it's Dan. How are you? Last year, obviously the price momentum was driven by retail traders for all intents and purposes. You guys have spent a good part of 2018 building out this suite of institutional, grade things like custody and that sort of thing. Are you seeing uptake of your custody product, and do you see that as a huge catalyst as you go into the next stage of whatever that is for cryptocurrencies? Is the stage set, I guess, for institutional investment?
Yeah, great question. I think the institutions need they need a valid venue to trade on. They need a qualified custodian to store with, and they want to make sure that there's actual liquidity, right? So we've built a lot of liquidity. We have the best, most regulated, most compliant venue on the planet, and we have the only qualified custodian solution in the space. And so we think we've laid a lot of the infrastructure to allow institutions to start to invest in cryptocurrencies. We also, our market data underpins many of the derivative products that are out there, and we think having a healthy derivative market is essential to the formation of a healthy crypto market. And so we think we've done a lot. We've actually had hundreds of institutions on board onto our custodian. We've blown by the internal goals we set for that business. Just today, we were having a review of that business. So we feel very good about where we are with that business, and we think 2019 will continue to be a good year for the institutions who are going to crypto. Going
back, though, Asiff, to my question about volumes, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I think people are wondering what you're seeing. I mean, futures volumes have really dried up as Bitcoin went down to 3,000, 4,000, et cetera. What are you seeing in terms of volumes? And I ask this in the context of your valuation in a potential IPO. Are you valued lower today versus when Bitcoin was at 20,000 or close to 20,000?
Okay, yeah, so you would know that we did a round earlier this year where we were valued at $8 billion. I think we looked at where the market was, we looked at where we were, and we had a number of institutions come and proactively want to invest in us. We basically took money for a rainy day. None of those investors were betting on the price of the asset today, tomorrow, or even a year from now. Like if that's your time horizon, you shouldn't be, as an institutional investor, you shouldn't be touching this, right? But if you have a long-term constructive view of where crypto is going, we're the best leveraged bet on crypto that you can find. And so that's why a great institution like Tiger led the round, and we had great people following that round. So we're very happy with the way we did the round and who came in. I think in terms of our valuation, our revenue is directly tied to the amount of trading volume, and the trading volume is a lot lower today than it was a year ago. And so yes, our revenues are down, just like everybody else's in the space.
IPO. Asiff, I'm sorry, we're running out of time. let's fast forward and get to that.
We have a long way to go before we're doing an IPO. There's so many things that we're doing as a business, and we're just focused on building a great business.